Then we get to the catch-all category. And this just, I don't even know where to go with this, because people will describe to me absolutely unique humanoids. And I'll give you one example. A guy from Canada who had an encounter with his friends, by the way. They only remember seeing these figures from a distance and had missing time, but he walked right up to them. He said they were 10 feet tall. I said, 10 feet, really? He's like, well, maybe 9, but I had to look up to them. I'm over 6 feet tall.
This is the one where they had like the really kind of creepy looking faces, like old. I mean, not creepy, but old.
Yes, exactly. He had the impression they were very old, thick skin, very wrinkly skin, huge, enormous eyes, dirty teeth, large noses. They were wearing shiny black jumpsuit types things with a high collar and gold-lined irises, blue and gold-lined irises. Very peculiar looking, slicked back, dark hair, very odd looking. And he insists up and down they were, 9, 10 feet tall. And I've never heard anyone describe anything like this. But you hear of this, it's in the literature, just what I would call humanoids of varying description. And I'm wondering what's going on here. Is it, like Dolly says, there's just the human genome throughout the universe, and it's all dials up differently. And there's evolutionary variations. One lady, she's had lifelong contact with Greys and had an experience where she found herself in this, what she perceived to be an underground chamber. This is a housewife from Nebraska, no reason for contact that she can think of other than it's, in her family. But she described this 9-foot tall humanoid. And the reason she contacted me was because she wanted to hear someone else describe what she saw. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I've never heard a description like what you're telling me. And she said this guy was wearing, again, a dark suit with a cape. Capes turn up in some of these humanoid cases. And we saw this guy walking down a corridor towards her. She was laid out on a table, and he entered her cubicle, so to speak, and said, all right, Jill, it's your turn. And that caused a huge fear reaction. She's like, my turn? What? What are you talking about? But she said this guy was 9 feet tall, broad-shouldered, a human-ish face in terms of eyes, nose, and mouth, but an extremely large jutting chin that was inhumanly large, an oversized forehead, enormous size. And she says it wasn't even hair on his head. It looked like straw, and it stuck up 3 inches straight up. And that turned up in the Carl Higdon case. He described a normal-sized humanoid, but it had orange hair sticking straight up. So this is what I would call the catch-all category. And I could go on and on with different types of humanoids, but they always have 2 eyes, almost always a nose and mouth and ears and 2 arms. We're not getting people with 6 arms or anything, or tentacles or this sort of thing, which is kind of what I expected as a skeptic, as a science fiction fan.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. Additionally, if you have any feedback, please put something in the comments below. And lastly, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, you can find it above. Thanks again for watching.